being uncomfortable, going from private equity, energy, and then nonprofit world. And in your book, you talk about the desire or putting yourself in places where you're not the smartest in the room. You don't know what's going on. Now, did that stem from a desire to learn more and to do that? Or was it just coincident that that's what happened and you just realized that you're good at it?
The second, and thank you for reading the book. I appreciate it. I knew there was somebody out there who had read it. The feeling that I had that were most satisfying were when I look back on things and say, hey, I did that. And when I started it, I had no idea, and so I just kind of reverse engineered that feeling to say, I think that no muscle gets strengthened without being stretched and stretched to the limit. I apply that in the workforce by saying, if you're not completely panicked on your first day on the job, you're in the wrong job. You need to be like panicked, throwing up in the shower, panicked. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I am the admissions mistake. I am the fraud. I don't know why they hired me. And then you just go in there and you realize, guess what? There are a lot of people to help you if you have a question. People want you to succeed. Nobody hires you and hopes you fail, right? But as a younger person, I had to learn that the hard way when I ended up on Wall Street and I had no idea what I was doing. And my first day on the job at Morgan Stanley, they said, here's a spreadsheet. Why don't you do a debt amortization table? And I said, what's a spreadsheet and what's a debt amortization table? I was a political theory major, liberal arts, no clue. And then I did okay there after a couple of years. I look back and go, that was something. And so to me, that feeling, chasing that feeling, people shouldn't be afraid of it. And so that's where I say every plant should be repotted at some point. Get out of your comfort zone. And implicitly, what are you doing when that happens? You're taking a bet on yourself. Well, that's the best bet you can make. I don't like to bet on other people that I don't know. So, that to me just became intuitively obvious after having experienced it. And so that's where that came from in the book.
Do you think that panic triggers that fight or flight sense, which obviously makes your brain more receptive to learning lessons and just being more adaptable? Because like you said, if you're in that rut or, if you're just driving to work every day, 30-minute commute is 5 minutes because you're doing the same routine. But when there's traffic, it feels like forever. If you're in that panic state where you don't know anything and you put yourself there, your brain has to figure it out and possibly be better at learning the job.
Yeah, absolutely. I would completely agree with that. And it's a little bit different than like on a sports field, if you're taking the shot and there's nobody there but you. I've just found in 99% of settings, there are people cheering you on. There are resources that you don't even know you have. There are people there who would answer a question for you. There now, in today's world, which did not exist, you can go online and, ask Gemini or whatever. And I mean, I just, to me, it's not even an issue. It's just not even an issue. Don't be afraid of it. And you should actually seek that moment out. Because otherwise you're going to end up in a rut and you're going to end up just really being unsatisfied. I like that feeling of pushing, of asking, of striving, and not for the sake of it, but I know that it's going to be okay.